Bo and Luke Duke decide to enter Uncle Jesse's moonshine into the Hazard County Food Fair? Or will Sheriff Roscoe P. Coltrane ruin their day on Dukes of Hazzard at 7:30pm? Find out after the Thamesmen.
Nobody telling us what to do. We don't want nobody pushing us around.
I apologize. But tell me, just what is it that you want to do?
Well, we want to be free. We want to be free to do what we want to do. We want to be free to ride. And we want to be free to ride our machines without being hassled by the man. And we want to get loaded. And we want to have a good time. And that's what we're going to do.
Well, when, baby? Let's go.
We're going to have a good time. We're going to have a party.
Bonjour, George.
Comment ça va, my friend? Mon ami.
Très bien. Bon weekend. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are the Thamesmen.
We are the Thamesmen, and I am George, and I am in Los Angeles.
I'm Alex. I'm in Colorado, and welcome to the old community center of music, where it's not just cabbage and mash.
Cabbage and mash? It's bangers and mash, isn't it?
Bangers and mash, I tell you.
Or wangers and mash.
Wangers and mash. I was watching our last video. I fucking laughed. We kept trying to get to the music. And then when you got to the notes, you even got lost, you know?
We tried. It was like, anyway. But in that last video, actually, interestingly, we talked about like AI and image generation and stuff like that. And I got kind of into making videos. I think I put some in the video of like, make us look like Tintin. I now see with your hairstyle, Alex, you are leaning into the Tintin look. You know, that sort of, he has that kind of quiffy, Mohican-y thing, you know? You've got it there. It's brilliant. We don't need to do AI anymore. You are Tintin.
Thank you very much. I'll take that. But, the underlying current on Tintin is basically, the big question is, was he gay?
That wasn't a question that ever came up to me. It was like, when did he ever write? He was a boy reporter. When did he ever write anything in his newspaper? He was off solving mysteries and things, but did you ever see him on a typewriter? Did you ever see him dialing in the story and checking on the front pages? No, never.
What was he doing hanging around all those grown men?
With an old drunken sailor.
Absolutely. Round the world, favour for a sailor, Captain Haddock, $5. And what about the Thompson twins? They must have. It was, oh my God, it was just one big gay fest.
I never saw it as that, but who knows? It was a different era when those things were different.
Name one lady character from Tintin.
Ooh, that's a good point. It was a bit male dominated. It was a bit patriarchal, wasn't it, in terms of like solving mysteries and chasing down the bad guys, really, wasn't it?
Something to be said about a young boy's buttocks.
I think it says more about you than.
I don't think so. I think it was a gay manifesto. You couldn't be gay back then, so it was basically they threw the dog in as a lost leader.
Snowy.
That's Snowy. And he was no. Anyway,
no, he wasn't a gay dog. Look, I think anyway.
Asterix.
The point.
I used to love Asterix.
I loved Asterix.
I used
Asterix
to love Obelix. I didn't really understand the story.
I always wanted to eat a whole wild boar.
Yes.
That was what I wanted to do. Yeah. But I did love. Now, here's the thing: you could almost do a chart for, because I've had this discussion. I've got some French friends here, some German friends here, and in Asterix, all the characters had different names depending on the language, but they were based upon. They were sort of like comedy names. And you could get a chart, like, so in the English version, like the fishwife, talk about the female characters, her name is Bacteria, and the druid was called Getafix. So these were sort of plays on words that only worked in the English language. So in other languages, they had different names. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you can look it up if you want. I wish to maybe see if we can do a little chart behind us so we can be bothered. But if not, we won't have it there either. So let's see.
I didn't know that. It's a bit like, I saw something, I think it was on SNL or Saturday Night Live. They were talking about animals are given different names when we eat them. Like cow is beef.
Or steak.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Pork, or pig.
Yeah.
Pork.
Okay, yeah. What else?
Chickens are just chickens.
Chickens. But actually, or fowl. But actually, the one I found really interesting in that area was, we all love, what is it? The Chilean sea bass. Do you know, like, the Chilean sea bass is like one of those fishes you go to a restaurant and go, oh, Chilean sea bass, so good, lovely. Do you know what the actual name of the fish is?
Sea bass.
No, it's the Patagonian toothfish, but that doesn't sound as appealing as a sea bass. Oh. So they're called Chilean sea bass, but actually the Patagonian toothfish.
Well, this one did me in. I heard a podcast about imitation calamari. So in imitation calamari,
what are they, like a fish's arsehole or something? No.
Yeah, and he saw this guy went round and he saw his box of imitation calamari. And he asked, and apparently pig bung. Right, the last 3 inches of a pig's arsehole.
That makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah. And that's imitation calamari. And apparently, if you bleach it and fry it, and cut it up and fry it, and you taste it, you cannot tell the difference. So I have never since then eaten calamari from a cheap restaurant.
I've always wondered about what those round rubbery rings were, but now I know, and so my day is complete.
Yes.
So,
well, I mean, come on. I mean, in this day and age, I mean, they use everything. So why not use pig bun?
At least it's not going to waste, is it?
No.
Yeah. If you eat hot dogs, it's pretty much the same. I wondered why it tastes like calamari.
Olive Garden.
Eat all you can eat.
Anyway. Oh yes. Oh yeah. You know. Sorry. God, nearly went on to the music then. You know, the Red Lobster went under.
Yeah, because of all you can eat something or other, yeah.
That was it. The thing that pushed them under was all you can eat shrimp.
They got eaten out of house and home, did they?
It was in America, right? You should never have all you can eat, right? Because it's a challenge. Just eat as much as you would like, right? But eat unlimited shrimp. Apparently, put them into bankruptcy.
Someone took them up on their word.
Absolutely.
And put them out of business.
Half America. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen,
ladies and gentlemen.
Last track, we were doing metal country. Go back and look. It's Cody Parks. And he did a Johnny Cash track. And we said...
a mashup of White Zombie and Johnny Cash. But yeah.
Yes. Thank you for correcting me.
Just been
publicly humiliating me.
I don't need to do that, honestly. Do I need to do that?
No.
You're the one who brought up the calamari assholes. I don't need to do this.
I'm not publicly humiliating myself on that one. I'm making our audience aware that they could be eating big asshole. Anyway,
carry on.
Back to the business. So we said we would like to do some Johnny Cash.
I think, we'd love to do more Johnny Cash.
And
Johnny
then,
Cash is awesome.
Straight after that, I was reading Rick Rubin and an article on him and why he picked Hurt to cover. And it was fucking great. It was great. So I thought we would cover. We know the track. We knew it. But I mean like that. But it's still one of the greatest tracks out there.
And I believe we have some notes to.
We do. I'll read them. I'll try and read them.
Okay. I'm going to drink my iced tea while you do that.
Okay.
Carry on, mate.
Okay. All right. Today we are diving into, which is one of the most powerful songs ever to put on record and camera. Back in the early 2000s, Johnny Cash was nearly forgotten about the music industry. He was old. He was sick. His voice was fading, and his legacy was slipping. Then came producer Rick Rubin, the guy who made his name in hip-hop and metal, and he saw something the world had stopped seeing, Cash's truth. Rubin gave him a song called Hurt, originally a 9 Inch Nails, a song about addiction, regret, and self-destruction. And Cash didn't just sing it, he lived it. In the video, you'll see everything. His hands are shaking, his house is literally falling apart around him, and June Carter watching from the shadows, just 3 months before she died. Johnny recorded the track knowing he was dying. This wasn't just a performance; it was a goodbye. Rick Rubin picked the track, and he picked the track as Rubin had his gut feeling. He said, "If Johnny sings this, it won't be about heroin. It'll be about a man reflecting on his own life, his regrets and his failures, everything he lived through." He played the song for Cash, who immediately connected with it. No lyric changes were made. It became more of a cover. It became a confession. Rick Rubin said later, "It felt like the end. It felt like Johnny's epitaph. I still get the chills."
Wow. Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, let's start at the end of his career, but we should definitely go back to his beginning and some of the other stuff, because he was a character.
He was, but I mean, Rick Rubin, he picked him out. I mean, everyone had forgotten about him. Everyone had moved on. You know what I mean? And he and there was Rubin at the height of his career, and he leant back and picked Johnny Cash up.
I think that's Rick Rubin's superpower. Rick Rubin has often said that, like, he's not an engineer. He's not the guy who twiddles the knobs and pushes the faders and does that. But he has got a remarkably good ear and a sensibility, a musical sensibility that allows him to be that producer of some of the most epic performances that are out there, And I think that's his superpower.
Yeah, he picked Johnny Cash up. The music, everything was forgotten about Johnny Cash. He reached back in his height of his career, got Johnny Cash and picked the song for him, and look what happened.
Okay, well, let's watch it. I can't wait. Right, I can't wait. I'm ready.
Are you ready?
I think I'm ready.
Yeah. Are we ready? 2.
I'm ready.
1. Boom.
I hurt myself today to see if I still feel. I focus on the pain, the only thing that's real. The needle tears a hole, the old familiar sting. Try to kill it all away, but I remember everything. What have I become? My sweetest friend. Everyone I know goes away in the end, and you could have it all. My empire of dirt, I will let you down. I will make you hurt. You stay the hell away from me, you hear? I wear this crown of thorns upon my liar's chair, full of broken thoughts I cannot repair. Beneath the stains of time, the feelings disappear. You are someone else, I am still right here. What have I become? My sweetest friend. Everyone I know goes away in the end, and you could have it all. My empire of dirt, I will let you down. I will make you hurt. If I could start
Oh,
fuck.
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 Holy shit.
Holy
That was
fuck.
That was flipping incredible. That was, oh my God.
Oh my God. Gee, I mean, we both know that song, and we're both probably also addicted by the production value of it and how it is produced and how it's so stripped back. There's fuck. Jesus. The power of music, huh?
That is like, if you're gonna have an epitaph, go out like that. That is unflipping believable. That just, he is everything. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I've heard the song before, but I haven't seen it with that video, and I haven't seen it with that sort of, just, talk about play with your emotions, and just the sort of the vignettes of his life and who he was and who he's been, and his wife. And I mean, his story is rich and deep and long and amazing, and that was just perfect.
The production, I mean, Rick Rubin, he wasn't fucking around. He knew what he wanted before he actually started recording. So, I mean, that was so, it was so stripped back. There was nothing. And then there was that single piano note that was on the beat. And then, it was so simplistically built up. And it was just Johnny Cash with his soulful, beautiful voice over the top. Just perfection. I can imagine being in the studio and doing the mix of that. And just
doesn't need much mixing, really, is it?
No.
Let's face it. It's just going to be, capturing that. It just, you would have, you would know you're in the presence of a master at that point.
And
truly
George is in the music business, and I dabbled, and then we both know when you're in a studio, you've got all these tracks ahead of you. You can always do something, and you don't know when to stop, but Rick Rubin, there was nothing there. It was just perfect.
Yeah. We need to find a way in our schedules to make curated weeks happen, because I would absolutely love, I mean, the Dire Straits one we keep talking about, Dire Straits is really high up there for me. But the Johnny Cash week, would be flipping awesome. I think,
let's put it out there. I mean, I've got to find, was it Brian? I'm not sure who sent me the Dire Straits. I've got to find that again. If whoever it was, love to get that. And if anyone wants to tackle curated week of Cash, I would also donate my time, obviously, to do 5 tracks in 5 days for Johnny Cash. I've got a lot to learn about Johnny Cash.
Yeah, no, I mean, do you remember, what was that film, Walk the Line? Did you ever see Walk the Line?
Yeah.
Which was like the sort of, the dramatization of him and June Carter Cash's life and stuff like that, or part of it anyway. And it was a flipping, if you haven't seen Walk the Line, that was great. And then recently that Bob Dylan film, he plays like a small part in the Bob Dylan film, the one, am I getting confused with my film? The Bob Dylan one, which is
I haven't seen that one yet.
Recently, that was really because he was sort of knocking around the edges of what Bob Dylan was doing in the early days at the folk festival and stuff. And he's and then there's all those stories about the Folsom Prison Blues and what he did there, and it was fantastic stuff.
Well, the email's down there. If you are a Cash fan and you think you could pull together a curated week, which is 5 tracks, 5 days video, and the back, the intro for each of the videos, so we could learn about Cash, let's do it.
Tell a story. Tell his. It's hard in 5 tracks, but anyway, we would love to try and find the time to do that. So that was flipping great. I loved that, but that was emotional. That was a tough song.
I know. Started thinking about shit. Don't want to do that.
Can't be joking around after that one.
Right.
So excellent.
I'll see you on the flip side.
I will see you on the flip side.
Ciao.
Ciao.